just watching Schumann's stream, and I typed in the chat hello, and a robot answered me. And I want to know what's going on here. Are they taking over the world? And where did Schumann get a robot?
What are you talking about, a robot? You talking about the one that's in the Twitch chat?
Yeah!
That's something you set up yourself. Go grab a chair and I'll show you. Alright, Cosmo, since you got your stream set up and running, I'm going to teach you how to set up your Chatbot. Chatbot is a moderator hosted by a third-party software to help moderate your Twitch chat. You can set it to greet new viewers and post scheduled messages. There's a lot of things you can do with it. It's quite helpful. Now, there's a lot of these chatbots out there. Some of the more famous ones you've probably heard of is like MooBot and Nightbot, but StreamElements also has a chatbot as well. No matter what chatbot you go with, most of their functionalities are the same. The only thing that changes is free versus paid, the design of user interface, and how to set it up. But the basic premise stays pretty much consistent. I've used a lot of different chatbots out there, but for myself personally, I found I like StreamElements the best. There's a lot of things you can do for free, and I find it's pretty straightforward, which I think will be great for you, Cosmo.
Okay.
Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is log into StreamElements using your Twitch account. When you get to the dashboard on the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see a sad, crying, pink face guilt-tripping you. Below it, it'll say the bot is currently not in your chat. So we got a bot here feeling a little excluded right now, so what we're going to do is include him in your streams by clicking the Join Channel button. And if we go to our Twitch chat, we'll see that StreamElements is letting us know that StreamElements bot is now running. Another thing we want to make sure is that this bot has moderator status. A moderator status means that whoever you grant moderator status to will have the ability to perform actions to moderate your stream chat on your behalf. To make sure your StreamElements has moderator status, go to your Twitch, click on the picture on the top right, go to Creator Dashboard. If the Creator Dashboard menu isn't open, go ahead and click the navigation button at the top to open it. Then go to the Community tab and then click Roles Manager. If StreamElements is connected properly, it should be listed under Username. Under the Roles section, right next to the username, it should say Moderator. If it doesn't, check the Moderator box, and that's it. Got it so far, Cosmo? Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the chat commands. Go over to the Chatbot tab and click the chat commands. As you can see, Cosmo, there's a lot of default commands here you can choose to add to your stream. Now, if we were to go ahead and go through each one, it would take absolutely forever. But each of these commands will have a description on the side letting you know what each of these commands do. So after this video, I recommend you go in, read each one of them, and see what it is that you would like to add. But there are things in here that I would like to explain to you, so we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Now let's go ahead and take the account age command as an example. Now basically what this means is if somebody were to type in !account age in your chat, it'll show the age of the account of the person who used the command. Now for instance, if I go to my Twitch chat and I typed in !account age, it'll say that the Cosmo and Carrie account was created 8 days and 1 hour ago. So let's open this and look at this a little closer. This is what people will type to activate this command in your chat. It always starts with an exclamation point followed by the name of the command. Now command costs get a little bit technical because then it starts using things like loyalty points, which I'll have to explain to you a little later, Cosmo, because this one can get pretty technical. So at least for these basic commands, I always set the command cost at 0. Now over here, you're going to see the user level. If you click into the user level, it'll give you the opportunity to set who can use these commands. You can set the commands to be used by everyone, or maybe you only want your subscribers to use them. But in the beginning, basic commands like this, I recommend being set so everyone can use them. That way it helps people feel included. Some bigger streamers who have thousands of chatters tend to limit the commands to maybe subscribers or VIPs only. But in the beginning, I recommend setting it so everyone can use it. Now the next section over here is the user cooldown. This number is representative of seconds, and basically it just means how often an individual can use this command. So basically what that means is one individual will only be able to use this command every 15 seconds. They usually put timers like this to help limit spam. Next to user cooldown, we have the global cooldown. This just means how many seconds in between someone using this command that another person can use it. If you want people to be able to spam this more frequently, you can always set this to 1 1 second, but if you want to avoid people spamming it, you can set it anywhere from 5 to 15 seconds. Now, if you go over here, you can choose whether you want to enable command when the stream is either online, offline, or both. One of the weirdest things on Twitch is that people can chat on your channel even when you're offline. I usually tend to leave it at both because I don't really see it hurting your channel if you leave it on, but it's completely up to you. Now, this section's a little interesting. This is the command aliases. The command aliases are just synonyms of the command name. The main command name to trigger this specific command is !account age. But people could also type in !ACC_age or !created to trigger this specific command. You can even make your own aliases. For instance, let's add age as an alias. Hit save, and if you type that into the Twitch chat, it'll trigger this command. There we go. To enable any of these commands, you're going to want to make sure this button is highlighted blue. I'm going to keep this one on though because this is a pretty popular command that people use. Now if you scroll all the way down, there's a section called moderators as well as super moderators. This section is basically commands you want to only allow people you can trust to perform. For instance, there's a setting called !set title. This gives whoever is allowed to perform this command the ability to change your stream title in case you have your hands too busy to do it yourself. This is not something you want to allow just anybody to do, so make sure that you pick moderators you trust to help you with these type of commands. Are you picking up what I'm putting down here, Cosmo?
Okay.
Now before we move on, there's one more thing I want to show you, and that's module commands. Now module commands are a little bit more advanced. Now if you look under the module column, you'll see a couple of these have something underneath it. Now let's check out the 8-ball command. This command is a fun one where your chatters can ask the magic 8-ball questions and get the magic 8-ball to answer them. See, I've known you for a long time, Cosmo, and I know you base most of your important life decisions off the answer of an 8-ball. Now you can give your chatters the same option. When we get into the 8-ball command setting, everything will look the same like the account age command. But if we try to activate it, it'll say the !8-ball command only works when the 8-ball module is enabled. We'll go ahead and enable it. Then we're going to go over to the modules section, which is under the Chatbot tab. And it'll show us all these different modules, including the 8-ball one, which is highlighted since we just enabled it. And the description says, open up the magic 8-ball to viewers' questions. I think somebody made a typo there. Let's just ignore it, pretend it didn't happen, and go ahead and click into it. When you click into it, it's going to show you up at the side here kind of an example of what the 8-ball does. Like all the other commands, it's going to show you the user and global cooldown, which I explained earlier. But under the responses section, it'll show you all the possible answers that the 8-ball will reply with when someone asks it a question. Like, are you kidding me? It is so. You can even add your own answers as well if you'd like. Since we enabled the 8-ball command, let's go ahead and try it out. So let's type in !8-ball will Cosmo become the world's best streamer? Question. The 8-ball has replied and says might actually be yes. Oh, congratulations, Cosmo. There's your answer.
Ooh.
Now, default commands will get you started. Custom commands are where you can really have fun. Within chat commands, we're going to click the Custom Commands tab. Now, let's go ahead and make one for YouTube. We're going to call this command YouTube. Just to keep it simple. Now, user level, obviously everyone. We want to make sure everyone can view your YouTube channel. The response box is what will show up if someone types in !YouTube. In it, I'll just type something like, want to learn more about content creating, check out my YouTube channel. And then I'm going to link our YouTube channel right here. You can click the Advanced Setting tab to change the user and global cooldown and add aliases and yada 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 yada. Once you're satisfied, you're going to go ahead and hit Activate Command. Alright, let's go ahead and test this baby out. We'll go to our Twitch channel and our chat, type !YouTube, and there you have it. And the link takes us straight to our YouTube channel. There's a lot of fun commands you can set up, Cosmo, so I'll sit down with you next time to show you all the useful ones I recommend and fun, unique ones to make your chat more engaging. Under the Chat Commands button, there's a User Management button. It's basically a section where you can add other moderators in here to let bots know that these people are given special permission to do things regular chatters can't do and manage the command. This is a section I won't go into much, Cosmo, because personally I don't really mess with it. Alright, Cosmo, since you're someone I would call spaced out at the best of times, I think we need to set up some automatic chat timers to make sure your chat stays engaged even if your head is in another dimension. Let's go ahead and create a new timer by clicking the Add Timer button. We'll make one for YouTube. Go YouTube. In the response section, you can write a message that says something like, "Hey, cool cat, want to learn how to share your crazy ideas to the world like me? Then click the link to my YouTube channel." Now on the right hand side, you can customize when you want the chat to appear. Right now it's set to appear every 5 minutes as long as there's at least 5 lines of chat. Personally for me, this is too soon, especially when you don't have a lot of people talking. I typically like to set a trigger every 30 minutes for about 10 lines of chat, but some streamers will do 15 minutes for 40 lines of chat. Basically, the goal of the message is to appear frequent enough to remind people, but not frequent enough that it'll start feeling a little spammy. Especially if you start adding like a bunch of timers, it can get pretty annoying. So just play around with the time to see what frequency is best for you and just adjust it as you like. It also has this like offline mode, but I don't really use this because no one's watching if I'm not online, so it makes no sense for me to just have this automatically be going off. So I just go ahead and click that off. You can keep it on if you like, I don't think it really makes a difference. Then when you're satisfied, go ahead and click the Activate Timer, and you can see that the blue button right next to it is highlighted, which means it's online. Now after this, you can go ahead and add more timers if you like. You can have one for your Discord channel, you can have one specifically for your socials, you can remind people to follow. But if you do add more timers, just be aware of the interval times and the chat lines, just to make sure that a bunch of messages aren't just coming all at once and they're not just, they're not overwhelming the chat with just a bunch of random bot messages. Got it, Cosmo? Alright, so when we were setting up the 8-ball commands, we touched on the modules section. Like I said, this section can get a little complex. It's like turning your regular commands and pumping it full of steroids. For instance, the first one is the chat alerts. If you turn this on, anytime someone does something that triggers an alert, like a follow, a raid, subs, and tips, the bots will trigger a response. In the message section, it says a message will be picked randomly. Available arguments, bracket user, bracket. The available arguments, bracket user bracket, basically means the code bracket user bracket is what you can type to generate the person's username that triggered the alert. For instance, Cosmo, if Schumann follows you, the bot will generate a message that says, "Thank you for following, Schumann." You can even add your own message like, "Hey, bracket user bracket, thanks for joining the Cosmo's Cool Cat crew." If you have a couple different ones to choose, the bot will automatically pick which one to use. You can customize the message for each alerts, like followers, tips, hosts, subscribers, yada 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 yada, you get the point. And like the custom commands, I recommend you read through it and see which ones you want to add to your stream. Alright, Cosmo, we're going to go through the last section of this chatbot tutorial. In the last section, we're going to cover bot spam filters. All of these can be turned on to prevent specific spams from happening. Like caps protection will remove messages with excessive amount of capital letters. Link protection will remove messages containing not allowed links. You can also set banned words and phrases that the bots will automatically remove if somebody uses them. For instance, in the caps protection section, if someone uses an excessive amount of capital letters, it'll time them out for at least 300 seconds. And you can choose to exclude specific people. If you don't mind your regular viewers capitalizing letters because you built a rapport with them and trust them, you can exclude them from getting timed out for using too many capital letters. At the bottom here, you can write a custom message that'll explain to those that get suspended why they got suspended. And in the advanced setting, you can set how many capital letters are allowed and so on and so forth. If you go to the link protection, you can block certain links that you don't want people to spam, like, what was it, Cosmo? Cornhub.com? It was that website with all the different species of corn. At the top here, you can choose your protection level if you want to make it easier for you. The question mark in the corner here explains how the different protection levels will affect each protection. Like the chat commands and the modules, I recommend you going through each one of these and customizing it to the way that you want it. Alright, got any more questions, Cosmo?
Hey, soon these things are gonna try and take over the world, huh?